In this installment, we're going to be going over the NBA playoff bet slate for Thursday, May 9th. Let's get into it. Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Chef D, and I'm here to bring you the winning ingredients for our Thursday, May 9th NBA playoff bet slate we got going on. But before I deep dive into that, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you follow me on Instagram and Twitter at MetsNetsJetsD. Don't forget about that TikTok at Chef_D91. And don't forget about the Patreon. Right now, we're at the homepage of the YouTube channel, currently at 4.96 thousand subscribers. Our goal is 10K, but as of right now, let's push for this 5K. Can we reach 5K before the weekend starts here? That's going to be you guys' call to action. If you're already subscribed, continue to like and comment. That helps the YouTube algorithm. And if you're not subscribed, you guys are missing out. Join the community that we're building on YouTube and on Patreon. One big whole family here. The vibes are great. We got birthdays going across the board here. Shout out to all the Tauruses for the next 12 days. Shout out to all the Tauruses here. We got birthdays going on in the Patreon as well. Good vibes, parlays. Everything is clicking. Now, speaking of that parlay, we were pretty hot in MLB. We had that one wrong play with the early game with the Pirates, but the Royals came through, the Braves came through, the Mets game was postponed, but the Guardians won and the Dodgers as well. So MLB was pretty hot. The Panthers won in hockey. We're just waiting on Canucks. But the way it's set up here, if you have one game left, I had a parlay out there, a birthday parlay. Let me just show you guys that really quick. That birthday parlay right here. Royals came through, Braves, and Knicks. So when you're in this scenario here, you got one game coming up, and that's at 10 p.m. If you just need that one game to come through, this is where you can always win with a hedge. All right? You hedge to the other side, so you, no matter what, worst comes to worst, you're gonna get paid some money. This is how we break it down. If you come over to the Patreon, I'll try to set you up here. We have a beautiful parlay at plus 817. You need one team at 10 p.m. to come through. Everything else came through, the other three legs. You need that one other team. This is when you bet the other side, so you guarantee yourself profit, okay? This is the way to do it, all right? So if you want the phenomenal plays, if you want strategy, or if you want advice as well, we got other guys in here. Sign up for that Patreon link provided down below, right? Before we get to the first game for May 8th, we had the play of the Knicks. That was a sweep. Yesterday we had Knicks money line, Knicks to cover as well. Who cares about the over-under? But Knicks money line and Knicks covered in that game. I try to warn people what happened at halftime with Brunson being injured. I literally put it because they kept talking about Willis Reed. They did the modern day Willis Reed. Jalen Brunson came back because, first of all, he was holding his groin and they're talking about a foot injury. Yeah, okay. So then he leaves. He's out for the rest of the second quarter. Of course, he comes back in the third. They go on to take the lead in the third and cover the spread here. I try to warn people in my Patreon, hey guys, they're going to pull the modern day Willis Reed. They've been talking about it throughout the whole game, and they did it. So do not be discouraged when some of these things happen. They are playing with that live line, all right? They got everyone on the Pacers. That was the most public underdog of the day. Everyone was on the Pacers. They wind up by 10 at halftime and lost. All right, even with the Brunson injury, and even with the Nonabe injury, that was pretty rough to watch there. But we cashed over here. Knicks money line, Knicks -4. So first game on Thursday we got going on: Cleveland Cavaliers, Boston Celtics, 4-versus-1 matchup here. Looking at the odds, Boston Celtics on the money line -900 with the comeback of the Cleveland Cavaliers at a +575. The point spread has been bumped up from 12.5 in the previous game to 13.5 for the point spread here. Total points at 211.5. Public bet percentage here. 94% of the bets on Boston, 76% of the money on Boston. Point spread, 72% of the bets on Boston, 78% of the money on Boston. And for the total, 92% of the bets on Boston, 92% of the money on the over 211.5. All right. Injury report here. Jared Allen is going to be questionable again for game 2. Most likely he might not play, but just stay tuned to news there. RotoWire link is provided down below so you can stay up to date. But if he's out yet again, this does not bode well for the Cleveland Cavaliers. They need another scorer. They really do. Losing Jared Allen, was a big rebounder, when I'll show you some of the numbers, and he helps with the pick and roll game. He's their 3rd best scorer on the Cleveland Cavaliers. And for the Boston Celtics injury report, Kristaps Porzingis, as we know, he's going to miss this whole entire series. All right. So if they're going to reevaluate him by the Eastern Conference Finals. All right. So what do we see in game 1? This was a blowout here. I had you guys take the Celtics to cover. They did the first half cover. They did the full game cover. That's what we're going to probably lean towards yet again. But it was domination from the Celtics. They out 3-point field goal them. They had 18 threes. They made 7 more 3-pointers than the Cleveland Cavaliers. They out-rebounded them by 17 with 6 extra offensive rebounds. So just across the board. And this is a one-man show for the Cleveland Cavaliers, all right? Donovan Mitchell, if they have any chance of competing with the Boston Celtics, either, number 1, the Celtics have to miss every single 3, or you get a performance from the Cleveland Cavaliers where it's everyone helping. You need Mobley to get at least 20. You need Garland to at least get 25. You need help off the bench. You need Max Strus to hit 5 threes. It's just a lot. It's just too much for an already hampered Donovan Mitchell. That's going to lead me into this line here. All right. So I'm gonna encourage here you guys to get creative. We talk about this. There's a guy in the Patreon that talks about this. He always takes race to 10, race to 20, race to 30, race to 40. You can take that with the Boston Celtics. To have them to score the first 10 points, the first 20 points, the first 30 points, and you line it up that way. You could take first quarter, take the spread. It's probably around 2.5, 3.5 points. All right. You could take the first half. That should be around 7.5 to 8 points. Take that again. All right. Or you can just be waiting and be patient. Take the 13.5. All right. If you want to be safe, you can bump it down just a little bit to that 9.5, like I always encourage you guys. But this is a huge mismatch here between the Celtics and the Cleveland Cavaliers. Love them to cover the spread at 13.5. I like that first half cover as well. And I like the over 211.5. Over in this game here. Boston is going to keep just an avalanche of points that we're going to see from Boston. It forces Cleveland to score as well. And this is a complete sweep. Let's go into the next game. Last but not least, we have the Dallas Mavericks going up against the Oklahoma City Thunder here. This is game number 2 between these two teams. Looking at the current line, OKC Thunder minus 200 on the money line with the comeback of the Dallas Mavericks at a plus 165. The point spread is set at a 4.5. The total is set at 218.5. All right. So this total is they kept it the same, and it did not reach that total because Dallas could not keep up pace with the Oklahoma City Thunder in game number 1. They pulled away, and it was just a very bad performance from Luka Doncic here. That was the issue with the Dallas Mavericks going up against the OKC Thunder. They got out rebounded, which they tend to always win the rebounding department as well. But before we get into the plays, let me talk about that public bet percentage, okay? 87% of the bets, 86% of the money on the Thunder. For the point spread, 70% of the bets, 78% on the money on the Thunder to cover. And for the total, 88% of the bets and 87% of the money on the over 218.5. Dallas Mavericks injury report. Luka Doncic is probable. Already checked. He's going to be probable for game 2, so do not panic there. Maxi Kleber, obviously, he's going to be out for 6 to 8 weeks. LKC Thunder are fine. No one injured in game number 1. All right. So game number 2 here, we got a very, very similar line despite the fact that game 1 was a blowout. This game was very close until midway in that third quarter, and then the OKC Thunder went on an 11-point run. Everyone was hitting threes. They brought in Isaiah Joe. He knocked down 2 threes. Chet Holmgren knocked down a 3. SGA hit a 3, and they pulled away from there. All right, but this was a close game. All right, so what do we see in game number 2? I'm gonna give you guys a little stat here. All right, Luka Doncic, his record in game 1s, he is 1-5. So this is nothing new to the Mavs and Luka. They always lose game 1, always. All right, and the one time they did win game 1, it was this Clippers series in 2021. They wind up going up 2-0 in that series, and they lost the series to the Clippers. So it's almost a good thing that they lose game 1. So this is, hey, you are the road team. You want to steal at least one game, so you have another opportunity here. Luka Doncic is a veteran, is an MVP type caliber player here, and we're gonna trust in him and in Jason Kidd in these Dallas Mavericks here. So we're gonna be going back to the well. Give me the point spread of 4.5. I still think that's too much. We're gonna see adjustments from Jason Kidd and the Dallas Mavericks. And hey, these OKC Thunder, they're rolling on high, right? They haven't got smacked yet in the playoffs. This is a very young team versus a very veteran team. So we're going to see what happens in game 2. I'm going to be on the side of the point spread of that 4.5, and give me the under 218.5. Give me the under in this particular game here, and hit in the game 1. And if I'm on the side of Dallas, that's going to be more defensive right there. They play very strong defensively, and if they're going to win the game, I think it's going to come down to defense, and they're going to outscore the Thunder in that fourth quarter. All right, so point spread 4.5, under 218.5. Those are going to be our selections for Thursday, May 9th. Let me know in that comment section down below. What are your suggestions for Thursday? Do you agree? Do you disagree? What are some player props you want to talk about? Comment that down below. Guys, if you want the premium plays, sign up for that Patreon. If you guys need help, sign up for that Patreon. That link is provided down below, and the NBA Future Bet is in there as well. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'll be back with another video very soon. Peace out.